It's Friday, and that means it's time for Friday Follies. And for that, we turn to Fox News contributor Raymond Arroyo. Raymond, the Bidens did a big vax push this week with, their shots didn't all hit, did they?
Well, like the vaccine in some cases. Look, the president explained the vaccine reluctance of African Americans and Hispanics this way, Laura.
There's a reason why it's been harder to get African Americans initially to get vaccinated, because they're used to being experimented on. The Tuskegee Airmen and others. It's awful hard as well to get Latinx vaccinated as well. Why? They're worried that they'll be vaccinated and deported.
Laura, there's so much wrong with those quotes, I don't know where to begin. First of all, victims of the Tuskegee syphilis experiments and the Tuskegee Airmen are two entirely different group of people that shared a town, okay? It's like saying we owe a lot to those Native American chiefs, like those Kansas City Chiefs. No, one are a group of tribal leaders, the other is a football team. And as for the Latinx, or as you say, Latinx, This is even more concerning. First off, I don't know any Hispanics in my family or anywhere else that use Latinx. They just don't. A Pew survey showed only 3% of mostly young people even entertain that term. I personally don't think it's that high. And then the idea that Hispanics, or that Biden thinks Hispanics aren't getting vaccinated because they fear deportation. I know a lot of Hispanics right here in New Orleans I'd like to introduce them to. None of them fear deportation, by the way.
First of all, who in the country right now would ever fear deportation, including convicted murderers? Okay? I don't see that anyone is getting deported anytime soon. So we can just allay the concerns of anyone who's worried. Okay, Biden just wants you to stay forever and vote Democrat, and so does Harris. We'll get to that.
And Laura, President Biden, he needed a lot of help this week. His handlers had their hands full trying to keep him on schedule, and Kamala Harris played the role of prompter to remind him of that Surfside building collapse. Watch.
Will you travel to Florida, sir? Can we ask you about Florida, what you've learned and what you hope
yes, I apologize. Yes, thank you, my president. I've spoken with, coincidentally, the mayor of Miami.
Are you worried that the rising
Governor
vaccine rates
DeSantis?
with the 4th of July celebrations might
Have you called Governor DeSantis, Mr. President?
Come on.
This way, Joe. This way.
Come home. It's always a hand pushing him off stage or off.
Yeah, well, sometimes you need a little more help, Laura. I mean, Harrison Ford, who's a year older than Joe Biden, just injured himself on the set of that new Indiana Jones movie in London. Maybe if he had had some handlers, Indiana Jones and the fractured shoulder blade might still be shooting. But, you know, you need help from your friends, Laura, sometimes to save you from yourself. And that's what I think we saw this week.
I'm very confused. I thought Indiana Jones was already canceled because he was too, manly or too chivalrous or kissed the wrong person, or I thought that was all out the window.
Kiss the young girl. Kiss the young girl. No, he's in the process of being canceled, not just yet. Now, Laura, Jill Biden, hit the South this week to push vaccines in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Florida. This is part of her We Can Do This tour. Only 41% of Tennesseans have been vaccinated, so Jill Biden tried to woo them with an insult.
This state still has a little bit of way to go. Only 3 in 10 Tennesseans are vaccinated. And, well, you're booing yourselves.
Exactly 10 people showed up at Dr. Biden's Nashville pop-up vax clinic, Laura, and that was with a free beer and a Brad Paisley concert. They got to do better than this.
I'm surprised with the doctor title, which is so endearing, that they wouldn't say, "Oh, doctor, could just right here, please. I'm on my second shot now." Like, no. A different type of doctor. Does that mean I'm a jurist? Say, I got a JD. Can I be Dr. Laura, jurist doctor?
Yes, we'll start calling you Dr. Laura. Why not?
I'm old school.
Everybody's a doctor.
If you don't have a stethoscope hanging around your neck, okay, I'm old school that way. I don't know. It just doesn't, to me, I don't know. It's
Dr.
confusing.
Laura, they may have to rename this tour. We can't do this, okay? The First Lady's comments in Mississippi may explain why there's so much vaccine hesitancy. Listen closely to this.
Scientists have been studying similar viruses and working on this type of vaccine for decades. So when this pandemic started, they already had a pandemic ready to go.
They got that pandemic ready to go, Dr. Laura. So, well, one in the wings. You know, Jill Biden will be driving the pace car at NASCAR next to try to get people vaccinated. I don't know where this tour ends, but let's hope it ends soon.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.